to have
I don't think so. I wasn't very good, but no, no, he's a super talented kid. You know, as far as the comparisons go, everybody's their own player. I'm sure he's bigger than I am, probably throw farther than I can, so, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just, you know, happy for him to get an opportunity to play here. It's a special place to play. I know we'll have a great time, you know, playing and being a student athlete here like I did. So, you know, I'm just happy for him, happy for the team, happy for, you know, the whole program.
What do you remember about that experience, enrolling early, coming in, competing for the job, and I guess it was kind of three of you guys sharing it to begin with?
Yeah, it wasn't always easy. You know, had a bunch of ups and downs, especially my freshman year. But it was worth it. You know, for me, I wanted to play early. I didn't want to sit out. You know, everybody's different. Everybody has different vision of how their college career goes. But for me, I wanted to play as soon as I possibly could, so I came in early. That was difficult, you know, at times, leaving all your buddies back in high school, that kind of thing. And being far away from home. But it was worth it for me. I'm sure it'll be, you know, worth it for him. More and more kids, I feel like, are doing it. I don't follow the college recruiting trail too hot, but I feel like that's a trend that's growing. So it works. You know, everybody's got their own feeling towards it, but for me it was the right decision, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
Matt, what was your welcome to the SEC moment?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Welcome to the SEC. I've taken a lot of hits since then. It's hard to remember. I don't know. Maybe my freshman year, Kentucky, when we lost. I got my helmet ripped off and my face was all bloody, and I was like, well, this is a lot tougher than sometimes you might think it would be. But that was a tough one for me for sure.
So, catch us up on the logistics a little bit. You seem to spend a lot of time in Atlanta. You and your wife live in Atlanta off season.
We do.
And I understand you recently had a church league basketball championship.
That's apparently hot news.
But you, Matt Ryan and his brother on the team. You guys buddies?
Yeah, I met him at the Pro Bowl a couple years ago, and we didn't really know, but we lived right around the corner from each other, and so we just started talking and play golf with him a bunch. He's a good hoop player, so we went out there and won us a little church league championship for second year in a row, which was a lot of fun, and just a fun way to keep active and do something other than going into the gym and lifting weights and running. So,
you know,
church is that? West Wyuka Baptist, I believe.
There was a lot of back in the day, 10 years ago, you were quite spotlight and all that when you came in, but now it seems like we talked about Jacob for 5 minutes, which sort of shows how the spotlight can grow even in the last decade. Mm-hmm. What have you noticed? You say you don't follow recruiting at all, but are you glad you didn't do it now versus?
Yeah, I'm glad I'm as old as I am, for sure. You know, that's a heck of a spotlight to be under. I felt like when I was coming out, it was like a ton of attention, and you know, just there's no such thing as really privacy anymore, especially now. You know, I thought it was that way when I was coming out. It was like the first probably flip camera phones were coming out, and you know, anywhere you went, you were, you know, a picture could be taken, and you could be asked for whatever it was, and it just it is only, you know, intensified, and so for those guys, you know, anybody coming out, you know, from high school into college, it's an eye opener, I'm sure. It's tough for those guys to make the right decisions all the time, and you know, it's something that is it's not going to go away. If he keeps playing football and all those guys do, and they play at a high level, it's only going to get, you know, the spotlight is only going to grow, and something you have to learn to adjust to and get used to.
Matt, how tough is it where you're kind of in a unique situation where I guess you went through it twice, being a top recruit here, but then also the first pick in the draft, where everywhere you go, people know who you are everywhere. Hey, are you going to start this year and all that kind of stuff? Dealing with that at such a young age.
I don't know. You know, I think I was brought up by two parents that kind of prepared me for those things, and I'm lucky in that regard. But you kind of have to live it, do your best. You know, that's what I tried to do, and not to say I did it perfect all the time, but just try to be as good a person, good a teammate, good a friend as I could be, and that kind of helped me get through those, because it wasn't easy all the time, and you know, there were times that you know, I'm sure I didn't make the right decision or I didn't do, you know, what was best, but you got to learn from them and try not to make that mistake, you know, again.
Matt, I'm sure, I'm assuming you've met with Kirby. What are your initial thoughts on his vision for the program?
I don't know if we've gotten deep enough to talk about vision of the program, but I have, you know, I saw him, you know, a little bit ago and talked to him a little bit. Just good to see him. Really, you know, he was on the staff when I was getting recruited, and then left kind of right when I got here, in that spring semester, whatever it was. You know, I've obviously watched his career at Alabama. He's learned under a great coach. He was a great player in his own right. So I'm confident he's going to get this program, you know, just not that it was going in the wrong direction. I think, you know, we're winning 10 games every year, but maybe he can help us get over that next step and you know, compete for championships. That's what, you know, playing sports is all about, is winning, and I'm sure he's motivated to do that.
Do you have a subject matter that you're talking about today with the coaches?
I am. Red zone offense. It's going to be thrilling.